Oman.Gwadar is a port city on the southwestern coast of Balochistan, Pakistan. The city is located on the shores of the Arabian Sea, approximately 700 kilometers to the west of Pakistan's largest city. Karachi.Gwadar is near the border with Iran and is located to the east of the Persian Gulf and opposite Oman.Gwadar and its surrounding region were overseas possessions of the Sultanate of Muscat and Oman from 1783 until Pakistan purchased the territory. September 8, 1958. Pakistan assumed control of the territory on December 8, 1958, and the territory was later integrated into Balochistan province on July 1, 1977, as Gwadar district. For most of its history, Gwadar was a small to medium-sized settlement with an economy largely based on artisanal fishing. The strategic value of its location was first recognized in 1954 when it was identified as a suitable site for a deep-water port by the United States Geological Survey at the request of Pakistan while the territory was still under Omani rule. The area's potential to be a major deep-water port remained untapped under successive Pakistani governments until 2001, when construction on the first phase of Gwadar Port was initiated. During the first phase 2007 was inaugurated by General Pervez Musharraf at a total cost of $248 million. The port remained underutilized after construction for a variety of reasons, including lack of investment, security concerns, and the government of Pakistan's failure to transfer land as promised to the port operator, Port of Singapore Authority. In April 2015, Pakistan and China announced their intention to develop the $46 billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which in turn forms part of China's ambitious One Belt, One Road. Gwadar features heavily in CPEC and is also envisaged to be the link between the One Belt, One Road and Maritime Silk Road project. $1.153 billion worth of infrastructure projects will be invested into the city as part of CPEC, with the aim of linking northern Pakistan and western China to the deep-water seaport. The city will also be the site of a floating liquefied natural gas facility that will be built as part of the larger $2.5 billion Gwadar Nawab Shah segment of the Iran-Pakistan gas pipeline project. In addition to investments directly under the aegis of CPEC in Gwadar City, the China Overseas Port Holding Company in June 2016 began construction on the $2 billion Gwadar Special Economic Zone, which is being modeled on the lines of the Special Economic Zones of China. Etymology. The word Gwadar is a corruption of the Pashto word Godar, which means riverbank or applied to any area near water. A theory is that the name derived from the ancient name of Balochistan, Gedrosia, which was given by the Greeks to the arid area of southern Balochistan. History. Ancient history. Inhabitation of Gwadar, like most areas of Balochistan, appears to be ancient. The area shows inhabitation as early as the Bronze Age, with settlements around some of the area's oases. It is from this settlement pattern that word Makrin, the original name of Balochistan, is derived. For a period, it was a region of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. It is believed to have been conquered by the founder of the Persian Empire, Cyrus the Great. The capital of the satrapy of Gedrosia was Pura, which is thought to have been located near the modern Bampur in Iranian Balochistan. During the homeward march of Alexander the Great, his admiral Nearchus led a fleet along the modern-day Makran coast and recorded that the area was dry, mountainous, and inhabited by the Ichthyophagai, an ancient Greek rendering of the ancient Persian phrase Mahikoran, which has itself become the modern word Makran. After the collapse of Alexander's empire, the area was ruled by Seleucus Nicator, one of Alexander's as generals. The region then reverted to Indian rule around about 303 BC after Seleucus made peace with Emperor Chandragupta and ceded the territory to the Indian Empire. Omani rule. The region remained on the sidelines of history for a millennium until the Arab Muslim army of Umar captured Makran in AD 643, and over the intervening amount of time the area was contested by various powers. This was then followed by almost 2 centuries of local rule by the various Baloch tribes. The city was visited by Ottoman Admiral Saidi Ali Reis in the 1550s and mentioned in his book Mirat al-Mamalik, 1557. According to Saidi Ali Reis, the inhabitants of Gwadar were Baloch and the chief was Malik Jalaluddin, son of Malik Dinar. In the 15th century the Portuguese conquered many parts of India and Oman. They planned to proceed with annexation of the coastal area of Makran. They attacked Gwadar under the leadership of Vasco da Gama, but under the supervision of Commander Mir Ismail Baloch. The Portuguese were defeated by the Baloch. A few times the Portuguese looted and set the coastal villages on fire, but they failed to capture Gwadar. Cannons of the Portuguese army were found lying near the central jail of Gwadar. The grave of Mir Ismail Baloch is situated near the mountain of Baitul Gwadar, constructed by Mir Ismail Baloch himself during life. He died in 873 Hijri. In 1783, the Khan of Kalat Mir Nuri Nasir Khan Baloch granted suzerainty over Gwadar to Timur Sultan, the defeated ruler of Muscat. When the Sultan subsequently retook Muscat, he was to continue his rule in Gwadar by appointing a wali. This wali was then ordered to subjugate the nearby coastal town of Charbafar. The Gwadar fort was built during Omani rule, whilst telegraph lines were later extended into the town girt of sea of the British. In the middle of the 18th century, Mir Nuri Nasir Khan Baloch captured Gwadar and its surrounding areas after defeating the Gichki Baloch tribe and included it in the Kalat Khanate. However, realizing that maintaining control of the area will be difficult without the support of the Gichkis, Mir Nazir entered into an agreement with the local Gichki chief, which allowed the Gichkis to maintain administrative control of the area, in return for furnishing half the collected revenues to Kalat. This arrangement continued till 1783. When Syed Sultan fell out with his brother, the ruler of Muscat, and asked for help, Mir Nuri Nasir Khan handed over Gwadar, as part of his share of revenues, to Syed Sultan for his maintenance, with the understanding that the area be returned to Kalat. When Syed Sultan acquires the throne, Syed Sultan ascended to the throne of Muscat in 1797 but never returned Gwadar enclave to Kalat. The ensuing struggle between the heirs of the Sultan and Khan of Kalat for possession of Gwadar allowed the British to intervene. The British, after extracting concessions from the Sultan for the use of the area, facilitated Muscat to retain Gwadar. Later on, the British claimed that the area was granted to the Sultan by Mir Nazir. However, local accounts and the declassified documents of that time challenged this claim. From 1863 to 1879, Gwadar was the headquarters of a British assistant political agent. Gwadar was a fortnightly port of call for the British India Steamship Navigation Company's steamers and included a combined post and AMP telegraph office. Sultan was the sovereign of Gwadar until negotiations were held with the government of Pakistan in the 1950s. Post 1958 as part of Pakistan in 1955, Makran acceded to Pakistan and was made a district. Gwadar then was not included in Makran. In 1958, Gwadar and its surrounding areas were reverted by Muscat to Pakistan. It was given the status of a tahsil of Makran district. On July 1, 1977, Makran district was upgraded into a division and was divided into 3 districts of Turbat, Panjgul and Gwadar. On 8 September 1958, Pakistan purchased the Gwadar enclave from Oman for $3 million US. The agreement had 2 important clauses. All Balochistan would form a military recruitment source for Oman. As a result, Balochis constitute a major part of Omani forces, and the resources of Gwadar would be further developed. Most of the money for the purchase came from donations, with Prince Sultan Muhammad Shah, the reigning Aga Khan, being the greatest contributor, while the remainder was paid through tax revenue. At the time, Gwadar was a small and underdeveloped fishing village with a population of a few thousand. The Pakistani government integrated Gwadar into Balochistan province on 1 July 1977 as the district headquarters of the newly formed Gwadar district. In 1993, the government of Pakistan formally conceived the plan to develop Gwadar into a major port city with a deep seaport and to connect it with Pakistan's highway and rail networks. On the 22nd of March 2002, the government of Pakistan began construction of Gwadar Port, a modern deep sea port, phase 1 of which was completed in March 2007. Gwadar Port was inaugurated on the 20th of March 2007. Gwadar underwent major development from 2002 to 2007. In 2002, Pakistan's National Highway Authority began construction of the 653 km long Makran Coastal Highway linking Gwadar with Karachi via Pasni and Ormara and onwards with the rest of the national highways of Pakistan, which was completed in 2004. In 2003, the Gwadar Development Authority was established to oversee the planning and development of Gwadar, and Gwadar Industrial Estate Development Authority was established to promote industrial activities in megaport city of Gwadar. In 2004, Pakistan's NHA began construction of the 820 km long M8 motorway linking Gwadar with Ratodero in Sindh province via Turbat, Hojab, Awaran and Kusta and onwards with the rest of the motorways of Pakistan. In 2006, the Gwadar Development Authority conceived, developed and adopted a 50-year master plan for Gwadar. In 2007, the Civil Aviation Authority of Pakistan acquired 4,300 acres to construct a new greenfield airport. The new Gwadar International Airport, 6,000 acres, at an estimated cost of 7.5 billion rupees. Gwadar port expansion under CPEC. China has a great strategic interest in Gwadar. In 2013, the state-owned China Overseas Port Holdings Limited acquired Gwadar Port. The port is strategically important for China as 60% of China's oil comes from the Persian Gulf by ships traveling over 16,000 kilometers. In 2 to 3 months, confronting pirates, bad weather, political rivals, and other risks up to its only commercial port is Shanghai. Gwadar will reduce the distance to a mere 5,000 kilometers and also serve round the year. China has been instrumental in design of the project. China is providing approximately 80% of the cost of the port in the shape of grants and soft loans. Over 500 Chinese workers have worked on the project on a 24-hour basis to complete the port setup. There are still a large number of Chinese workers and engineers working on the project. China is setting up a dry port at the Pakistan-China border to take advantage of shorter route to sea through Gwadar. China paid $360 million to Pakistan for expansion and an upgrade for all-weather trafficability of Karakoram Highway linking Pakistan with China. The contract has been awarded to Frontier Works Organization, who has also started the project. Feasibility and engineering studies to connect China with Gwadar through pipeline and railway track have already begun. China is heavily dependent on Persian Gulf oil, which passes through the Strait of Malacca all the way through the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Once the oil reaches China's east coast ports, it is transported thousands of miles inland to western China. The Gwadar Port-Karakoram highway route is safer, cheaper and shorter than transporting the oil by ocean tanker. Chinese goods flowing in the opposite direction will find an easier, shorter and secure route to the Middle East, increasing trade. The government of Pakistan has committed to providing a naval base to China in Gwadar. This will not only help secure Gwadar but also take Pakistan-China relations to new heights. Although some analysts claim that China intends to establish a naval presence at Gwadar, others argue that China will be cautious about such a development. A Chinese military presence in Gwadar may provoke a significant reaction from both the United States and India. Geography. Topography. Gwadar is situated on the southwestern Arabian Sea coast of Pakistan in Gwadar district of Balochistan province. Like Oman further east, Gwadar is situated on a natural hammerhead-shaped peninsula forming two almost perfect, but naturally curved, semicircular bays on either side. The city is situated on a narrow and sandy 12-kilometre-long isthmus which connects the Pakistani coast to rocky outcroppings in the Arabian Sea, known as the Gwadar Promontory, or Koi Battle, which reach an altitude of 480 feet and extends 7 miles east to west with a breadth of 1 mile. The 800-foot-wide isthmus upon which Gwadar is located separates the two almost perfect semicircular bays from one another. The western bay is known as the Padizia and is generally shallow with an average depth of 12 feet and a maximum depth of 30 feet. To the east of the isthmus is the deepwater Demizia harbor, where the Gwadar port was built. The area north of the city and Gwadar Promontory is flat and generally barren. The white clay Koi Medi is a notable exception, and rises sharply from the plains to the northeast of Gwadar. The Koi Medi features two discernible peaks, with a height of 1,360 and 1,375 feet, and is approximately 4 miles wide and features sharp cliffs that drop precipitously into the Arabian Sea. Following an earthquake in September 2013, a small island called Zalzala Jazeera formed approximately 2 kilometers off the coast. Population. The population of the city has risen to approximately 85,000 as of 2014. Climate. Gwadar is 0 to 300 meters above sea level and is mainly dry, arid and hot. The oceanic influence keeps the temperature lower in summer and higher in winter as compared to the inland. The mean temperature in the hottest month remains between 31 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius. The mean temperature in the coolest month varies from 18 degrees Celsius to 19 degrees Celsius. The uniformity of temperature is a unique characteristic of the Makran coastal region. Occasionally, winds moving down the Balochistan plateau bring brief cold spells, otherwise the winter is pleasant. In Gwadar, winters are shorter than summers. Although Gwadar is situated outside the monsoon belt, it receives light monsoon showers in summer. However, in winter, western disturbance can cause heavy rainfall. Annual rainfall is only 100 mm. In June 2010, Gwadar was lashed by Cyclone Fet with record-breaking rains of 372 mm and winds up to 75 miles per hour. Administration: Gwadar is the district headquarters of Gwadar District and the Tehsil headquarters of Gwadar Tehsil, which is administratively subdivided into 5 union councils. 3 of these councils, the Northern, Central and Southern councils, form Gwadar city. Culture: Gwadar's location and history have given it a unique blend of cultures. The Arabic influence upon Gwadar is strong as a consequence of the Omani era and its close proximity to the Arabian Peninsula. The legacy of the Omanis is observed in the local Makrani population, who can trace the lineage to Afro-Arabs and Zanj slaves, who settled in the town during Omani rule. They have an Arab dance and music called Lilwa, which is also performed in the Arabian Peninsula. Strategic importance: Gwadar is strategically located on the western end of Balochistan coast on the opposite end of the Gulf of Oman, which is an important route for oil tankers bound for Japan and Western countries out of Gulf, since outflow of goods from Western China and Central Asia reaching Gwadar will pass through this overland trade route. Pakistan could earn millions of dollars a year in terms of port and cargo handling charges and also as freight charges for import cargoes and export goods. According to ASAD Little, the main consultant firm of the Gwadar development phases, low-cost land and labor available. There is proximity to oil and gas resources in Gulf countries. There are some agricultural and mineral resources, while there could be tax-free status for investments and trade. The Gwadar port is expected to generate billions of dollars in revenues and create at least 2 million jobs. Gwadar has the potential to acquire the status of a centerpiece as a gate to Strait of Hormuz. It can compete with the United Arab Emirates ports by improving the exiting links to Caspian region, and thus providing a better trade for route to landlocked Caspian region. Gwadar has the potential to be developed into a full-fledged regional hub and a transshipment port in the future. In case Strait of Malacca is blocked by US, Gwadar can serve as an alternate route for Chinese trade in the Indian Ocean and to Western Asia. In military and strategic terms, Gwadar can help China to monitor the sea lanes from the Persian Gulf, as about 60% of Chinese energy requirements come from the Persian Gulf and transit along this sea lane. Gwadar is also further away from the reach of the Indian Navy than Karachi, which was attacked twice during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. The port of Gwadar port can provide China a listening post to observe the Indian naval activities around the Persian Gulf and Gulf of Aden, Central Asia and South Asia, encompassing the Caspian region, Central Asian republics, Afghanistan and Iran, and the energy-rich lake called the Caspian Sea, is a significant region because of its huge monetary perspective and geographically vital positioning, which has formed the region as a centerpiece in the international arena. Iran has also declared support for the development of Gwadar and its port. Economy: Gwadar's economy has, in the past, been dependent mostly on fishing. Its economy, however, is undergoing rapid transformation as a small fishing village is being transformed into a major port city of Pakistan with improved communication links with the rest of Pakistan. In 1993, the government of Pakistan commenced a feasibility study for the construction of a deep-sea port at Gwadar. On the 22nd of March 2002, the government of Pakistan began construction of Gwadar Port, a modern deep-sea port, the first phase of which was completed in December 2005 and the second in March 2007. Gwadar Port became fully operational in December 2009. The 1,400 kilometers trans-Afghan gas pipeline from Turkmenistan to Gwadar, a long-dormant project that would pump Turkmen natural gas to markets in South Asia, may finally be poised to begin at a cost of $3 billion. Gwadar Free Zone. The construction on a $2 billion 10-square-kilometer tax-exempt industrial zone began on June 20, 2016. The zone includes a 300 MW plant exclusive for the industrial zone.